Rise with India podcast on ET Now.
Hey guys, good morning and thanks so much for listening in. Happy Friday to you. Today is the 23rd of July and this is the daily morning update from ET Now. My name is Alex Matthew. The Tokyo Olympic Games kick off today, but it's a much more subdued event than was initially planned as a surge of COVID-19 cases has forced the Japanese administration to bar spectators. India will lead its biggest ever contingent to the Games with as many as 120 Indians competing in 85 medal events. Moving on, consumer sentiment has turned around in July, registering an improvement of 12.2% over the last 3 weeks since June 27, with rural India witnessing a significant improvement compared to urban, owing to the revival of the monsoon, according to the Centre for Monitoring Indian Economy. Data from the CMIE shows cumulative consumer sentiment improved by 17% during the past 3 weeks in rural India, while the increase was a modest 1.7% in urban India during the same period. The Reserve Bank of India may conduct pilot projects for retail and wholesale central bank digital currencies in the near future, according to Deputy Governor T. Ravi Shankar. The comments that came in a speech mark the clearest indication yet that the Indian Central Bank is studying and hoping to move towards the introductions of CBDCs, as they are called, despite the challenges that have been discussed. In corporate news, 2- and 3-wheeler maker Bajaj Auto is setting up a separate subsidiary company to handle its electric vehicles business for a more hands-on approach to the emerging sector and to make partnerships easy. While the exact set of operations the company will handle has not been finalized, Bajaj Auto feels that it needed a separate company that could focus exclusively on building EVs, according to Rakesh Sharma, Executive Director at Bajaj Auto. He was quoted in an article by the Economic Times. In international news, the Centers for Disease Control in the US has said that the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus is one of the most infectious respiratory diseases known. Currently, it accounts for over 83% of the sequenced cases in the US, and 97% of people admitted to hospitals with COVID symptoms are unvaccinated. That's proving to be a major challenge as myths about the vaccine are resulting in many giving the shot a miss. Meanwhile, in other news on COVID-19, the European Union said yesterday that it would donate more than 20 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccines to middle and low-income countries before the end of the year. That's double the initial amount that the 27-nation bloc had planned to deliver, mainly through COVAX, the UN-backed program to provide shots to poorer parts of the world. In other news, Chinese regulators are considering perhaps unprecedented penalties for Didi. Regulators see the ride-hailing giant's US IPO decision as a challenge to Beijing's authority. Chinese officials from various government agencies have started an investigation on site at the company's offices, with regulators weighing a range of potential punishments, including a fine, suspension of certain operations, or the introduction of a state-owned investor. And with that, it's over to Rohit Singh for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Rohit. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex. It'll be a morning when Zomato's D Street debut will be making all the noise. But markets too have made a good comeback. As was being talked about, we staged a short covering rally after 3 days of pullback and closed above 15,800. We are now closer to the stiff upper end of the range that Nifty has been stuck in. The measure of volatility took a big plunge down nearly 10% to close below 12. In this market rebound, FII sold shares worth about 250 crore rupees, while domestic investors bought shares worth about 950 crore rupees. On the global front, US stocks ended higher in a quiet session, on course to wrap up the week with gains. Dow is nearly 1% within the all-time high range. Let's take a look at the active stocks this morning. Reliance will be posting Q1 numbers this evening. Watch out for the profit growth figure. The telecom business may also see higher ARPUs. Bajaj Auto and HUL shares ended in the red after the Q1 numbers. Watch out if the market impact continues. Metal shares were on a song after the cabinet cleared a 6,000 crore rupee PLI scheme for specialty steel sector. Voda Idea has received Telecom Department's approval for raising fresh FDI of up to 15,000 crore rupees. Airtel is planning to invest about 3,500 crore rupees over 3 years to expand its data center capacity by 3 to 5 times. Arvind Fashions has agreed to sell assets of its unlimited retail business to V-Mart Retail. Top general insurer ICICI Lombard's June quarter profit fell 62% because of the devastating COVID second wave. Government has cleared 100% FDI through automatic route in oil PSUs, paving the way for overseas investors to acquire BPCL. To recap, yesterday's up move has nearly covered the losses of last 2 sessions, but the NPA worries in major earnings has kept the mood somber. Let's see if we are ready to step out of the weeks of consolidation or not. Wish you all a profitable day ahead. That's all from my end. I hand it back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Rohit. Wish you a happy weekend and wish all our listeners the same as well. Thanks so much for listening in, all of you. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up over the course of the day. You'll find all of that on ET Now.
The Rise with India podcast on ET Now.